Hey there everybody, just doing a quick rundown of my home theater setup here now that I'm pretty much settled. Want to figure out what I'm going to do with those wires, but it's a start. So we'll start with the kind of wall-o equipment here with some shelves I put up a couple weeks ago. So here we've got, of course, the Xbox 360, my selection of games, and my controllers, which I mounted on the wall by using some spare drywall screws I had from hanging the shelves. So really simple, but holds the controller well. I mean, in an earthquake I'm sure they'd fall off, but I guess, you know, a lot of other things would be falling off as well. So the Xbox is hooked up over HDMI to the projector and has optical digital audio out. That's how I have it set up. And here's the projector itself. The Sanyo PLV 1080 HD. It's a 1200 anti-lumen 1080 full 1080p 60 Hz LCD projector. Really nice. Got it on Amazon, I believe. Nice unit, works really well. We've got, of course, the N64, because why not? It's an N64. Got Smash, GoldenEye, you know, the essential games. I've also got my N64 controllers mounted using a similar system involving spare drywall screws. I actually made it so they fit in the slots for the memory packs. Which usually keeps them on the wall quite well, except for when I drop them like that. Got the control center for the Logitech Z-5500 5.1 system. Don't really use the control center directly. It's nice to look at it to make sure that I'm getting the right audio signal here. But otherwise, you know, just sits up here and mostly just receives the infrared commands from my remote. And of course, here we have a HT PC I built, little home theater PC here. It's running an Atom N330 main board with an Ion chipset. So that's a dual core 1.6 gigahertz hyper-threaded Atom, which I overclocked to 2 gig and it runs just fine. And so since we've got Ion, it's a GeForce 9400M graphics processor, which does quite well with the processing of the HD content, so it does full 1080p without a hitch. And I've got, hiding behind this nice little slot here, we've got a Blu-ray drive. So all of this was just about 400, including the IR receiver, which I did by buying a cheap Windows Media Center remote. Let's move that out of the way. We've got, you know, a couple Blu-rays here, some DVDs, just, you know, some more media. There's a terabyte external in the back there. Western Digital My Book that I got on sale last year. So with all of that, let's go ahead and check out the screen, which is a little too big to fit in the frame right now because I'm not sitting down, but built that myself out of blackout cloth that I ordered from a site called Carl's Place, who sells projector screen materials and supplies for all of that. We've got one more piece of kit here. We've got the Logitech Harmony 520 remote. I believe it's a discontinued model, but you can get the 510, which is very similar. And then here's just a cheapo USB keyboard with an optical trackball and left and right mouse buttons and some media keys that I got on Newegg for really cheap a while ago. So the nice thing about Harmonies, if you've never used one before, let me get to glow again. If you've never used a Harmony before, is that you have the activities. So you do choose an activity. There's use HTPC, play Xbox 360, play N64. You can set up as many as you want. You can have multiple pages. So we're going to hit use HTPC. And it should, yep, there we go. Logitech's turned on now. The projector's on. Just opened its lens shutter. And then it'll keep sending all the right signals to configure the right inputs on everything and have that all set up. So my HTPC is on like HDMI 1 input and uses coaxial digital audio out, so it's setting up the Logitech to respond to that, and it's going to set up the projector for the right input after the warm-up period here. And there we go, HDMI 1. So this is Windows 7 Windows Media Center with a custom theme that I got off of theme7mc.com. And I use Media Browser to browse all my stuff because it has way better metadata capabilities than the built-in browser and some other nice viewing options. So we'll pull that up. And it's searching all my hard drives for media, so it's quite a bit of space. You have to search a whole terabyte essentially. And there we go. So we've got some custom icons here for my different media. So here's my collection of movies. Let's go ahead and pull up something with a good intro. And there's little flags for 1080p content. So let's pull up Final Fantasy VII. That was a nice intro. And of course, you can also do things like, once you select what does the audio output for a certain activity, the volume buttons then correspond to the volume buttons on that device specifically. So my volume buttons are always linked to my Logitech, and then I have my Windows Media Center turned all the way up, and the output on the actual HDPC at I think like 80%. So there you go, 1080p content playing back. Colors are a little blown out on the video. That's probably because the camcorder's trying to do exposure correction. But they look great in person. I used an HD calibration Blu-Ray, actually on my HDPC, DVE HD Basics I think it was called, to do all the setup stuff. And that worked really well for getting brightness and contrast set, and even adjusting the color settings so that I would have perfect reproduction of the actual data that's on the disk. So there's some 1080p content.
Why does humankind?
And that's Media Browser. Of course, the other nice thing about the Logitech Harmony series is you started an activity, you want to just turn it off, you just hit the power button. It'll turn off all devices involved in that activity because they're now no longer being used. Also, when you switch activities, it'll turn off whatever devices aren't used in both activities. Really nice. About $100 retail. I got this one. I got my 520 for about, I want to say $50 on Amazon because it's a discontinued model. Absolutely wonderful. I bought one. I had gotten an Xbox 360 one a while back, I want to say a year ago, and absolutely fell in love with it, and unfortunately the LCD screen broke because I sat on it, so I had to get a new one to control all my new devices, and that's my home theater setup. The screen is 110 inches diagonal, which is 53.5 inches tall and about 96 inches wide. So definitely great for watching movies. Alright, thanks for watching.